and welcome to the new wellness show where I interview people that are able to help us with our health and wellness. And today I'm here with Sean Olsen. He is a former professional fitness trainer for many, many years, and he's now specialized in helping everyday people just like you and I to get in shape from their home. And today we're going to talk about the benefits of walking and how we can easily begin leveraging the benefit of walking in your own daily routine to get yourself back in shape and to stay in shape for the rest of your life. Wow, I like the sound of it. So, with that, welcome Sean Olsen.
Hey, Mary. Great to be here. Very excited to talk with everybody about walking today.
Yes, it's great to have you, Sean. So let's jump right into it today and tell us about the 8 benefits of walking that you wanted to share with us today. And then I'll have a few questions also at the end.
Perfect. All right. Well, we'll jump right into this. Again, appreciate being here. It's always fantastic to get out here and share some information that sometimes seems a little bit simplistic, but allows people to look at things a little bit differently than maybe they had previously. And so that's what I really enjoy doing is changing people's viewpoints on things because that allows them to take different actions. So we'll jump right in. Number one, there's a lot of benefits of walking. I'm going to cover 8. This doesn't mean that this is the extent of all of them, but these are some major points that really we just get from day one when we start having walking become part of our daily activity set. So number one is it boosts your metabolism. All right. This is how quickly you process food inside of your body. But just going for a brisk walk really can boost your metabolism very quickly when you even start walking as little as 5 minutes. Now, obviously, the longer you walk, the more impact this is going to have on increasing your metabolism, especially as you start to get into longer durations and things that up your heart rate, putting a little bit of extra effort in there. But just a walk itself can start help you burning calories at a faster rate all the time. So that's a big one. Number 2 is it's going to start help in the process of building muscle, strength, and endurance. So as you continue doing your walks on a regular basis, you're going to have a little bit of weight bearing activity. This activates your muscles in ways that it may not normally be used to, or after certain durations, if you're not used to walking very long distances and you're walking a little bit longer than you normally are. This is going to help us to increase the actual usage of our muscles. So you can also improve muscles strength and build and endurance and all that kind of stuff by adding some other things as you're walking. So you could stop and do some stationary exercises like push-ups or squats, or even as you are walking, you can stop and lunge every once in a while as you're still moving forward or doing some arm circles or whatever it may be. You can even carry some extra light dumbbells and have a little bit of extra resistance that helps with that. So lots and lots of ways to increase the muscle activation with some basic walking there. So the next one is we talked about this. We're going to start burning calories. So in order for you to move in any way, you have to create energy in order to allow that to happen. And calories is where we get our energy from. So we want to make sure that we're constantly, bringing calories in that we intend to turn around and use. So walking is a very, very easy way to burn some calories with really not a ton of effort. Walking is usually pretty simplistic for most people. So number 4 is walking also strengthens your bones and your joints. So it's a very low impact exercise, but because your foot is coming all the way off the ground and landing back on the ground, it's considered a low impact exercise, not no impact. But that slight impact is going to help increase your bone density. It's going to force your joints to react and grow stronger as it becomes used to those activities. So bones and joints are also positively affected very heavily when it comes to even just basic walking on a regular basis here. So next one is the increase in heart health. Now, we don't use our heart a ton most of the time. We live fairly sedentary lifestyles in a lot of cases, and people just don't push their heart very much. So going for a brisk walk can get your heart rate up even just a little bit. It's not something where you're going to feel super out of breath, or if you do, you can stop and catch your breath. But it's gonna tax the heart just a little bit, so that you can start getting a little bit of stress on it that it can then grow from and become stronger as that goes. And as we go through our walks and any kind of real physical activity, this extra push on the heart is going to be delivering oxygen more effectively all the time, even when we're not walking. So benefiting the heart as a benefit from walking, very, very crucial for overall health in itself. So another reason that I love to go walking, and I walk first thing in the morning, is it allows me a chance to clear my head. So many times we live these busy lifestyles and there's a lot of stimulus everywhere, and we've got a lot of demands on us, our family and our jobs and our friends and, hobbies, and all the things kind of pull us in all these directions. And so going out for a walk by yourself, you can just kind of slow down, clear your head. You get to think, about whatever it is that you want to do, or even just disconnect and not think about anything. That's one of my favorite things, is to really just not have an agenda and just to kind of separate and slow down on purpose. So another part of this is you can use that same amount of time that you're now disconnected from everything to plan a little bit. So I, again, use this time to work through what my day is going to look like during my walk. So sometimes I walk for 20 minutes, sometimes it's an hour. It just kind of depends on what I'm doing, but it allows me that time to forward progress plan. And a lot of times our days are so busy. Many of us wake up first thing in the morning and we rush right into obligation things. We have to just do this and do this and do this. And then we get to work and then we're doing work and like, we don't really take that time to plan a lot of times. And so this gives you also that opportunity to think about what it is that you want to prioritize for the day. The last one, and again, this is not the all-inclusive list, but this is another one of the 8 benefits that I really enjoy as part of walking, is you get some exposure to the sun when you go for a walk outside. Now, again, we hear so much negative about the sun and it's going to kill you and cause skin damage and all this kind of stuff. And yes, extended exposure with unprotection is going to have some negative effects. But there's a lot of positive benefits in short exposures with no sunscreen on, is just to get out and get some sun onto your skin. The sun is the number one producer of vitamin D in your body. It produces more than what you can normally take as a supplement. And so when we don't have vitamin D, a lot of negative things happen. This is, wintertime doom and gloom, and we, really don't, our mood isn't good and our energy levels are low. And usually our skin starts to get a little more pasty because we haven't had melatonin or melanin activation. But vitamin D production comes heavily from that exposure to the sun. The other part of it is sunlight is naturally and biologically triggering your circadian rhythms. So when you're exposed to a certain angle of the sun, it is going to re-trigger your body to recognize what time of day it actually is. So I work from home. I'm in an office very frequently. A lot of us do this, where we spend a lot of time inside and we start to get dragged down a little bit in the day and we get kind of tired. And then we're leaning on caffeine or some other crazy ideas to try and keep ourselves awake throughout the day. Sometimes the trick is simply to go outside and go for a walk for even 5 minutes and get that sunlight into your eyes, and it allows that reset of your system and you naturally have energy again for the day. So these are, again, a very small list. There's more and more we can go on forever, but these are huge pieces that I rely on for myself every day to include walking as part of my daily healthy lifestyle, really.
Wow, that is some really great information, Sean. And daily walking can really make an amazing difference to our health. What you shared was quite simple, but clear your mind for the morning and get the sun in and all those things. I think I can already see really the real benefits of starting to walk in the morning, especially as a fitness professional. Don't you think that walking is a little bit too easy of an exercise to help us to start losing weight?
Well, number one is I don't agree with that, because walking at a moderate pace for even 20 minutes a day can really start to change a lot of health benefits in your world. A lot of times, walking is simply the trigger that gets us to focus on our health. So
Mm.
even though we are getting benefits from doing the walk itself, it's also changing what we pay attention to and what we prioritize as important. We want to make sure that our health is something that we're paying attention to all the time, and walking a lot of times is that simple trigger. On the other side, the physical activity portion of it, again, there's a lot of benefits that happen within 5 to 20 minutes. Now, if you walk for more than 20 minutes, there's extended benefits that can happen, and you can increase how hard and fast you walk and up hills and that kind of thing. But the real magic of a walk is creating consistency. And so being able to leverage not only the physical benefits of it, but that redirection of focus into what it is that you prioritize. And a lot of times that's where our health fails, is because we just don't prioritize it. We know what we need to do, but we don't create an accountability structure to keep ourselves on point. So yes,
Exactly.
walking.
Again, I mean, we all know it's good to go for a walk. Getting out there and doing it is another thing. You have to have a bit of motivation. You're providing some really great information here. I have another question here. Walking on a daily basis for people that really do very, very little or absolutely no exercise at all, is it safe for them? Is it good for them to start walking every day?
Typically I would say yes to this in every case, but coming from a personal training fitness background, I would always recommend, if you're going to start any kind of exercise program, make sure you check with your doctor first, get the okay, especially if you have any questions about whether or not walking is safe. Now, for me, yes. If
Yeah.
you have the ability to stand up and walk outside away from your house for even 1 minute unassisted, where you don't have to hold a walker or a cane or someone's hand or whatever, then yes, this is something that you can probably do fairly safely for yourself and include a daily walk into your workout routine. So you don't have to start with walking 10 miles. Just the creation of the habit of going for a walk every day, you'll start to really see some benefits, and you'll build yourself up to being able to be stronger and go farther as you do it regularly.
Wow. Okay, that's good. So walking every day sounds simple. How about the muscle? Are we going to get sore if we start from just walking and never take a day off?
So yes, I go for a walk every single day. I'm in my late 30s, so I'm not saying that I'm fighting all of the factors of aging, but we're designed to walk as people. Our bodies are made to walk, and you probably walk way more throughout the day than you already realize. I recently took a trip to Hawaii and didn't go for any structured walks, but just moving around as we were there. My watch is tracking all my steps, and we were doing 6 to 7 miles a day without even trying to get any distance in. So, typical day for most people is probably already a few miles. So, your body is used to walking already. So, it's not really that you're asking your body to do much more than what it's already used to. And again, as you do things more and more, your body gets even more used to that.
Yeah.
So you can vary the durations of your walks. You can have some days that are longer, that's going to tax you a little bit more. Some days you go for a shorter walk, so it's more like an active rest. You're still moving a little bit, but you're not really pushing yourself.
Yeah.
And a
Yeah.
lot of times we get sore from things that happen to our muscles, and we go and we work hard for one day, and then we're like, oh my gosh, I'm sore. I don't want to do anything for a couple of days. And we're hurting ourselves more because it extends the recovery process. By moving again the next day, it flushes blood back through your system and carries a lot of those irritants out of the muscles. So
Oh,
continuously working regularly actually builds your body's ability to recover faster and the tolerance for what it is that you need to do to actually go for a walk. So beneficial.
that makes a lot of sense. And now that we understand the real benefits of walking, what do you think, is that better to walk inside or outside?
Oh, that's a really good question. So if you are a gym nut, you would probably argue that walking inside is the best thing in the world because you can always do it. You can always go to the gym and walk on the treadmill. there's a reason that that's not my favorite. So I lean towards the outside walks. Again, I worked in gyms for nearly a decade, and so I've been exposed heavily to both sides. The reason I say outside over inside is a number of reasons. Number one is when you go outside, you walk on an uneven surface. So this forces your body to adapt and move in ways that you
Yeah.
tax your muscles differently than walking uniformly over and over and over and over and over, wearing
Mhm.
yourself out in one specific way. So you actually don't wear out as fast by walking outside because the terrain is a little bit different. Number two, sometimes there's, up and down in elevation. So you have to take different heights of steps and it taxes your body again differently. So number two is if you're inside walking on a treadmill, you're not outside getting any sun exposure.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you can't get those sun benefits from being inside on the treadmill.
And the fresh air as well.
Yeah, there's a myriad of things that I could just go on forever about benefits of
Yeah.
outside walking. But again, we also want to make sure that when we have a structured walk, that we're committed to it. So if I'm inside and I'm on the treadmill, if I'm at my house, if I want to be done walking halfway through what I said I was going to do for a walk that day, all I have to do is push stop and step off and I'm done. I'm at home. But if I go outside for a walk, every step I take away from my house is a
Uh-huh.
commitment because I have to take that same number of steps back to get back to my house. So,
Okay.
so half of your walk is the actual distance, and then you just come back. So there's a little benefit in that, so that you're actually committed to your thing.
Yeah.
And if you're on a treadmill, how often are you going to move the treadmill? Probably never. So you're staring at the same wall all
Very
the
boring.
time, and how boring and unmotivating is that? So if I go outside, I can change my route every single day if I want and see a different part of my neighborhood or walk to other neighborhoods, or I can drive somewhere and go walk in a place I haven't been,
Yeah.
whatever it may be. So it allows you to keep that sense of new stimulus, which is very important because again, fitness is a marathon. This is
Hmm.
not a sprint. And
Hmm.
so we're going to keep doing this every single day for the rest of your life. How many days is that? You're going to stare at the same
Many
wall for
days, I hope.
yeah, so we want to change it up a little bit. So outside walking, again, I could go on forever with the positive benefits, but yeah, I would highly recommend if you have the ability to walk outside versus inside.
All right. So now we understand outside is much better, huh? But the day that it's raining, what do you suggest we do?
So that is one of the negatives. I appreciate that. Going outside, you have to have a safe way to walk. I live in an area that has all four seasons. So in the summer it's great. In the winter we get snow and all of that, right? And so there are days where I'm not able to walk safely outside.
Yeah.
I'm not going to risk my health. So what I actually did is I created 5 different workouts that are designed to be done inside at home. You don't have to have any equipment. You don't have to have any workspace. If you got a 6-foot circle, you can do the thing. But it allows you to basically put out the same kind of effort that you would from about a 20-minute walk so that you can stay on point with the consistency of daily activity on those days when the weather just doesn't make it safe to be out there. Now, again, if you have a treadmill at home, that's an easy solution as well, but
Uh-huh.
not everybody has several $100s to buy a treadmill just so that you can walk inside on the days that there's bad weather. So, again, I have exercises that are also put together so that people don't have to worry about breaking that consistency. They can just stay inside, be safe, get that duration of movement, different activities there, and get back out and walk when it's safe outside.
So those indoor exercise, they are part of your walking challenge, I understand.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yep. So I put together a walking challenge because if I just say, hey, let's go for a walk, there's not really any commitment to it. It's just kind of casual and maybe and whatever. So I designed a walking challenge so that we could have a regular routine that you are committing to. And again, fitness is not really that complicated. We understand that we need to move around and we need to eat healthy and we need to drink water, we need to get sleep, and the pieces that make us healthier, they're out there. You can Google
Yeah.
search any of it and find all this information out there. The biggest problem with most people being unhealthy is the commitment to the habits and the routines, because we have to do these things over and over and over and over. So I put together this structure that not only has something that people can commit to, but it's something that they can do without going to the gym or being on some crazy diet plan. You just have to follow the process. So the challenge starts with a 1 minute walk,
Okay.
and then you walk away from your house for 1 minute and come back. Day two, you walk away for 2 minutes and come back. And so you just add one more minute every day until we get to 10 minutes on day 10, and then you're coming back for 10 minutes. So that's your 20-minute walk. So as long as you're able to get up to that 20-minute walk per day, then you can win the challenge. And again, creating that consistency habit of having going for a daily walk as part of what you do without question. So that's really the big goal for that. If you're looking to lose some weight, this is a great way to kickstart this. Now,
Okay.
again, walking on its own isn't the only piece that I recommend, but is the simplest micro change. And a lot of times that's what people really falter on when it comes to getting healthy from an unhealthy state, is they see all the pieces involved. Oh, I got to change my diet, and I got to start working out, and I got to drink water, and there's like a number of things that we say, oh, well, if I have to do all this, it's too much, then I'm not going to do any of it. And
Yeah.
so the walking piece is an implementable non-challenge, right? There's a challenge associated with it, so you have a structure around it, but walking really isn't that hard. And so
No,
this is
that's
something
true.
that we
Yeah.
can leverage as a way to make micro changes that we can commit to, so that we can get to that point of no longer having to question whether or not we're going to be doing something today to improve our health. And momentum starts to happen, and this is really the magic with this, is the
Mm.
first 30 days we're developing the habit of just going for the walk. I don't really care how far you go, but we're going to get into this and focus on the consistency, the frequency every single day. All right.
Yeah.
So once we get into this, we're going to make sure that we just keep doing this every day for life. But now we have, oh, I've already done this. I just have to add a little bit more. And then now that we add one more piece, I just add one more. And so it's a slow intake into the overall health awareness. And the
Mm.
focus on that, it takes consistency over time. You don't get out of shape overnight. You don't get in shape overnight. It takes time to do the thing.
Lose weight, get fit, etc. And then when you start too many things, as you said, you got to do this, and don't eat that, and etc. Then it's all too much. Now, but the challenge is it's a 30-day challenge, I understand. So what do you do after the 30 days is over?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, the first 30 days is focused on frequency. We're going to make sure that you are creating a daily habit that is eliminating the question, right? A habit is only solid when you no longer have to ask yourself a decision about whether you're going to take that action.
Yeah.
So if you have just, this is what I do after 30 days, then you're no longer going to have to ask yourself the question. Also, part of that 30 days, you're going to be getting yourself a little bit more physically in shape to
Mm.
continue walking. So the simple answer is, after 30 days, you just keep walking. We've developed the habit, and we expect
Yeah.
that to be part of the rest of our lives. Now, again, that sounds daunting, so we only focus on the walk that we have going on. We only ever do one walk at a time. You don't do the rest of your life walks all at once, right? So
Yeah.
one walk at a time. We don't want to big picture ourselves out of it. We're committing to the next walk, and then the next walk, and then the next walk. But after that, there are also additional phases. So the first one is focused on frequency, developing the daily habit of going for the walk without question. After that, then we're going to change to a distance focus. So, yes, you're going to keep walking every single day, but now we're going to start paying attention to how far you get. So, phase 2 through 5 are a gradual increase in the distance goals that, again, are 30-day increments, so that we can slowly get ourselves to that point after all 5 phases to be able to really handle most of our physical activity through a simple daily walk. So that's kind of part of it. But the reason this is so important to keep going in a structured challenge after the 30 days, because people will say, well, I can just keep walking on my own. But if you don't have accountability and motivation, It's very easy to make the one time and say, oh, today's walk doesn't matter. I don't have to go for a walk today. It won't matter. And I will be very honest with you. The one walk won't matter. The problem is when you change the habit, when you make it okay to not have a day where you hold integrity to yourself, and integrity for me is an unwavering commitment to yourself. If you are allowing that integrity to go away, yes, you probably will come back the next day because you've sort of developed this habit and you're going to feel bad about yesterday. Oh man, I missed my walk, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And you'll go until the next time that integrity falls. And the more times you allow the integrity falter to happen, where you say today's walk doesn't matter, the more frequent that will tend to happen. And eventually you just stop walking altogether because the individual walks don't matter and I've started over, and you just make a bunch of excuses why you're not going today. So we just continue with more phases that keep you on the daily walking path, and we give you bigger goals to help you keep progressing, and you stay in an environment of support. And this is so important. Anyone that has goals does not achieve them by themselves. You have real good intention by yourself, but accountability goes away very quick. How many had New Year's resolutions this year?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we're going to go to the gym and we're going to crush it. And then like 2 to 3 weeks in, everybody's like, oh, I'm tired of doing this. Okay. So the challenges are not only set up to continue your own progress, but it keeps you in that environment where your focus is on your health and you have accountability coming from other people who are doing the same thing as you. You are around like-minded people that will support you to continue down this path of progress. And that's a lot of times really what it takes is motivation, not intelligence or physical ability or anything to that measure. So
it's a form of commitment and accountability when you're part of a group. You don't give yourself permission to let anyone down or to give up because other people might know. So that keeps you accountable. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I love that. So walking sounds like such a great idea for improving our health and keeping us on track. Does your challenge also include some form of dieting or supplements or the important other parts of being healthy?
Very, very much. Up front, this is really, really just focused on walking. But as we've mentioned already, walking is just one piece, which is a movement incorporation. So we're not going to rely 100% on walking to change everything about us physically. One of my favorite sayings is, you can't outwork a bad diet. So if you're out here eating a bunch of garbage and hitting your walk every day, you might not really see the results from it. Okay. So I do have other pieces of training in this program that do cover, nutrition and additional workout options. So, you can see I'm here in my little home office gym, and I do all of my activity right here at home. I don't go to the gym anymore. And so a lot of the things that I do in my own personal world is also included in this. So it is an optional thing, but it is there for people who are really looking to take their health seriously, accelerate their weight loss goals and results that they're getting from that, making sure that they're hydrated and getting enough sleep. And, one of the big pieces that's also included in this that a lot of times people may not feel as part of fitness, but there's some mindset development. So there's a way to help you start to focus on the things that you want to prioritize and structurally implementing those into your actual daily routine. So it's not necessarily education and teaching you how to walk, but it's going to help you prioritize the walks as something that you do without question. So those are, again, big pieces of really tackling this overall health and wellness.
Exactly. About health as well, etc. And also cooking, as you know, this is my thing.
Yeah.
And but I just tell people, stop dieting. There's too many different things. Just start eating the right thing, eating healthy, choosing the right food, and forget about the word diet, because it's a bit of a negative thing in your mind. And then like, oh, you can't do this, you can't eat that, you can't eat. No, not that. just choose wisely and eat more raw food and more natural things, and that's all there is to it. And that's a whole other subject that we can talk about.
So that's what we're really looking to do. And one of the factors that we found that actually helps people increase their success is having a walking partner. Again, it's that accountability thing. You can walk the exact same route by yourself, but you're more likely not to let somebody else down than you are to let yourself down. Leverage walking to actually jumpstart this fitness focus. So, very excited.
Sounds really good. Wow, that was quite a lot of information, Sean. Thank you so much. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we finish off today?
Again, just following the steps that others have already proven to be successful is the easiest way to have success yourself. You don't have to try and figure out what has already been proven to work. And for myself, I've leveraged walking for several years with a lot of other people that have done it successfully with me. But the steps in this challenge have definitely been proven to help create that fitness focused lifestyle. And again, I don't want to make weight loss claims. I don't want to tell you that, you're going to get shredded in a six pack and all this kind of stuff by going for a walk. Again, yes, you will have some positive physical benefits that come from this. You boost your metabolism, build your muscles, strengthen joints, hearts, all that kind of stuff. But it's that micro commitment that most people are really missing that allows them to do something that they feel that they can do. And that's really the magic around this challenge is a 20-minute walk is not hard to do. It's not time consuming. There is no equipment required. You don't have to learn how to do it. So the education part is not a factor. It's simply making the commitment that, yes, I want better health. And that's what this challenge is set up to do.
Well, thanks again for stopping by today, Sean. It's been really awesome to learn so much. Very impressed and very encouraged as well. So it's really good.
Thank you for having me. This has been fantastic.
Yes, it's been really great.
Can tell that I really enjoy walking and talking about walking and that kind of stuff. So
thank you so much, Sean. It's been really enlightening and really pleasant to have this chat with you today.
Oh, fantastic.
We'll see you again soon, huh?
Enjoy your day, guys.
Thank you. Bye, everybody. Thank you. Thank you for being there.